what used to be normal in downtown East Side, which I'm not saying is right, but what used to be normal and people would just walk by, has now transferred in Kitsilano and downtown. In Mount Pleasant area, there's 4 random attacks a day is what's been reported. And your likelihood of being a victim of a random assault is 1 in 4. Wow. If you are a Vancouver resident. And again, that's reported crime. It's become the norm that if someone looks at you the wrong way, you shouldn't look back or you shouldn't say something back because you don't know what may happen. That was a story that I remember hearing as a kid about certain cities in the United States. I never thought that would happen in Vancouver.
But evidently it has. Morella Guilbeault is the mother of a woman in her 30s who was the victim of a random violent assault in Kitsilano. I met with Morella to get her daughter's account of exactly what happened.
It's 2:30 in the morning, I get a phone call, and she's like in shock. And she's like, I just got mugged, and I think they broke my nose, they punched my face. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? She's walking down a very quiet, residential, upper class, upper scale neighborhood, and these 2 guys pass her, and then they double back and they have like scarves, so they mask their face, right? And one guy grabs at her purse and rips off her strap, and the other guy takes her headphones and smashes them and then says, give me your phone. And then he punches her 7 times in the face, saying, give me your phone, give me your fucking stuff. And she's like, what the fuck? And she's being punched in the face. I guess the one guy that had pulled on her purse, he hadn't been hitting her, so I don't know if he just thought and walked away. And then this guy that had been punching her in the face for 7 times, he just stopped and followed his friend.
And this is not, just to lay this out for people, this is not the downtown East Side.
No, she was on the edge of Kitsilano and Point Grey, where Point Grey the Richie Rich live.
These types of attacks are becoming so common that grassroots movements are popping up across the city to address the issue of public safety in Vancouver. One of those groups, Save Our City, was founded by lifelong Vancouver resident Dallas Brody.
Things have definitely gotten worse. I would say I've seen the most dramatic decline in the situation in Vancouver in the last 2.5 years. Downtown Vancouver, the days of me wanting to go down there and spend time just strolling the streets, no way. It's spreading, and I've had things stolen right off my front porch here, even off my back porch, and everybody in this neighborhood has had their windows smashed. I've had my car window smashed and things taken from my car, and that was not this neighborhood before.
So how can this be happening in a city as wealthy as Vancouver? How has public safety deteriorated so rapidly, and when did it all begin? I met with retired police officer Curtis Robinson, who served with the VPD throughout the 1990s up until 2009, to find out how public safety has changed over the past few decades.
There's no comparison between my experience as a police officer in Vancouver on Hastings Street, the downtown East Side, to what it resembles today. It's like you're in 2 different cities.
It's that dramatic.
It's absolutely, completely different. You didn't see any of the behavior you see. There was no such thing as stranger attacks. There was no such thing as robbing somebody with a needle. There were consequences for your behavior. Now it's a free-for-all. You can do whatever you want, and there's a reason for that. It probably started to change somewhere in the mid-90s, to where the approach at that time, instead of being very, very visible on the street and engaging the community on a daily basis, the focus in the mid-90s started to change when a certain commanding officer decided that perhaps it might be a nice idea to broker a friendship with the people, the residents of the downtown East Side. And that's when it started to erode. They didn't want to be friends with us. And it wasn't our job to be friends with these people. It was our job to control behavior and maintain the peace. So once the line started to be moved, instantly they took advantage of that. So instead of, this is not really allowed down here now. Like, for example, fixing in a doorway or fixing at bus stops in the morning where people are afraid. Now you started to see people do that because they knew that the rules had changed. So this was a gradual erosion.
Decreasing the police presence in the downtown east side has only continued since the 90s, allowing lawlessness in the neighborhood to grow to the level it's at today. According to police union head Ralph Kaiser, it's reached the point where the city doesn't want police there at all, allowing the anarchy to spill into other areas of Vancouver. A lot of the stuff and a lot of the crime that's